Hello everyone, welcome to another top 3 video. Today we're going to talk all about the top 3 Chaos Space Marine Warlord traits. If you haven't already, hit that notification bell and the subscribe button in the corner just there so you know each time we release one of these videos. Let's get straight into it. So Chaos Space Marine Warlord traits, what are the top 3? Number 1 is a Wordbearer's one. Master of the Union. Now, like I say, I'm always really big on force multiplication, and this does that perfectly. It's +1 attack for word bearers, demon units within 6 inches of the Warlord. Now, it might seem very, very specific, and that's because it is very, very specific. There aren't very many Legion demon units that you can take, but this is incredible for possessed units. Now, possessed have D3 attacks, but you still get Hateful Assault. And you can, with a CP, re-roll the number of attacks that something has. So you should get 2 attacks. You're very unlikely to not roll a 3 with a re-roll. So say they get 2 attacks. On the charge with Hateful Assault, they get 3 attacks. Now, if they're within 6 of this Warlord, they're getting 4 attacks a model. Now, Word Bearers possessed with 4 attacks a model are one of the scariest combat units in the game because they are the toughest possessed. And I'll tell you why. You couple this with a stratagem that is Word Bearer specific called Revered Hosts. Now, you pop that for 1 CP, and you get +1 to the damage of Word Bearer's possessed melee weapons. So they're strength 5. You can give them +1 to wound if you want with veterans. They're -2, and now they're flat 2 damage. So they're the most dangerous possessed in the game that any Legion can take, and you've given them an extra attack. So that Warlord trait comes in at number 3 for me, definitely. In at number 2, I have Demonsmith. Now, I know very many people don't play Iron Warriors, but I think this relic is wicked for shooting. So, Iron Warriors Demon Engines and Cult of Destruction units within 6 inches score additional hits on unmodified hit rolls of a 6 when making attacks. The most important thing to realize here is it just says when making attacks. So it's not just for ranged weapons, it also works on melee weapons. But I think range threat is more what you're looking for when you're taking these units, Demon Engines and Cult of Destruction units. Now, the Cult of Destruction units I'm talking about are Obliterators, because Obliterators, as Iron Warriors, are like the best Obliterators in the game as well, because you've got to remember you have the stratagem Rampant Technovirus. So you use that when an Obliterators unit from your army shoots, and you can reroll any or all of the D3 rolls that are made for their flesh, metal, guns ability, and it's just 1 command point. So when you're rolling their strength, you can reroll the D3, the AP, the damage, whichever ones you want, and then on top of that, you've got this guy next to them with the Warlord trait, and every time they roll a 6 to hit, it's an additional hit. So it's incredible. You're going to get so many shots, and then if somebody comes close to you, you could charge them with Mutilators or, you know, a big Demon Engine, and it's also going to get additional hits of 6s in combat as well. So this is a big force multiplier because it works for both ranged attacks and melee attacks. In number 1, though, I have got Loathsome Grace. So this is not a force multiplier, but this is probably one of my 3 favorite characters in the entire game right now. So you take a Lord, and I'm going to tell you how to build this guy now. First of all, what Loathsome Grace does is it allows him to re-roll charge rolls, and also if he heroically intervenes or makes a charge, you add 1 to his attack and strength characteristic. So what you're doing is you're taking an Emperor's Children Lord, because the Warlord trait is Emperor's Children. You give him a jump pack, and you give him a pair of Lightning Claws. This guy is only 115 points. 115 points, people. And then what you do is you give him Tharis and Riol, the Rapacious Talons, which are the Demon Claws for a Slanesh model only. So it's very fitting, very fluffy. What they do is they replace his 2 claws, and they're a demon weapon. So he gets D6 additional attacks when he fights. And also they are -2 and flat 2 damage, and you still retain the ability to reroll all your wound rolls. So in this case, he's got 4 attacks When he makes his charge, you've got to remember he's getting +1 attack from the Warlord trait. So that's 5. Then Hateful Assault makes 6 plus D6. So he can have 12 attacks. Then he hits on 2s with rerolls. So he's basically going to get 12 hits. If you're playing Imperium, Death to the False Emperor will kick off and he should get about 15 hits. Then on top of that, he's Strength 5 because you made your charge with the Warlord trait. Then he's re-rolling all wound rolls, -2, flat 2 damage. So that's all very tasty in itself. Then you've got to remember he's got the Honor the Prince stratagem for 1 CP, which is you can replace one of the dice in his charge roll for a 6. So he's basically, with his re-roll charges, he's got 4 attempts, 4d6 to roll a 3 with re-roll charges, and he will automatically get in when he comes in from reserve. Then the last piece of magic here is the Excess of Violence stratagem. If you pop that on him as well, then for each model that he kills in combat, he makes an additional attack against the same unit with the same weapon. Now, when he's getting something like 15 hits, say it's intercessors, you know, they're Marines, and say they've popped transhuman. So that's, you know, one of the toughest abilities in the game right now. They can only be wounded on a 4+. Bearing in mind, because this guy's Strength 5 and you can use veterans for 1 CP, he could be wounding them on 2s. So he is insane. But say they've got transhuman off. He's got 15 hits on him. He's going to get 7 wounds. Then he re-rolls the 8 fails. He's going to get 11. Gets 11 wounds on this unit. They've got 5 up saves. He should kill 8 of them, meaning he makes 8 more attacks. Hitting on 2s, re-rolling, and Death to the False Emperor. So he should get another 10 hits. So he's got 15 hits, and then he's got 10 hits, and he's going to keep going. And the amazing thing is, it does not say that these additional attacks cannot generate further attacks. So he just keeps on going until he gets to the point where he's got no wounds on the enemy unit, or they're all dead. Now, for 115 points, having a character that can run into a horde of 30 orc boys and wipe them out in one shot is phenomenal. So that one will always come in at number 1 for me. Like I say, these are my top 3 Chaos Space Marine Warlord traits. If you have any that are working really well for you, please leave them in the comments below for everybody to share. And until the next video, guys, see you later.